Sorry, been away for a week, but we didn't really get big busy time. Obviously, Christmas, so we're missing out on a few little things. So we're going to do 2 videos tonight, showing the techniques that we did. So we started off this time, instead of coming in for our Toriata grips, what he's going to do now is defend this to a basic spider guard. So he'll get his sleeve grips, he'll pummel his feet inside, and we're going to start from this position here. We've been starting from Toriata. That's fine. We'll just move into this now to start trying to show some basic escapes from spider into our stack. So it's a slightly different stack. It's a slightly different setup, which is why we're moving towards it. So first thing I want to do from here is, when he's got this back to the ground and he can be quite active with his hips, it's a problem for me. So I'm still going to keep my grips. It doesn't really matter because he's the one that's kind of got the grips that's moving here. But I start to bring him back. So I actually start to walk away like this. Now what that does is take him back off the ground, kind of demobilizes his hips somewhat. If I was to try to bring him the whole way up, he'll just go to a seated guard. So we're in this position. Now, instead of kind of like trying to fight these grips that are here, what I'm going to do is do a little karate chop both sides. So karate chop hands, and I just flick my hands down, and I'm going to grab his gi underneath where his calves are, under his legs. Now I can start to walk him back to start my stack. So as I do that, I start to drop my elbows in, start to stack. Now I get him into here, start to push, and I lock my knee in place. The reason I lock my knee here is because what we're trying to achieve here is to get him to roll over his shoulder. If I was not to have the knee here and start to guide him like this over the shoulder line, he'd probably just end up falling to the side like this. So it's very important. Normal stack position, we're going to be having both knees kind of crunched in from here. But because I'm trying to set him up for the submission, I'm going to have it in this situation. So my knee kind of tracks his hip the whole way as we start to move, and I start to get him to start moving over his shoulder. So got my pants grip. Now, for the first one we're going to do is Ezekiel. So a lot of people will set up the DAS, which I'm going to do on the next video. DAS for me works extremely well in no-gi, not so much in gi. I mean, you can still obviously do it, but it's a little bit more difficult because you're trying to like punch hands through, and where there's gis and collars and all these kind of things that are in your road. So if you're doing it in gi, it's more down to a timing thing rather than, being here. And it can be kind of disadvantages to you when you start to roll and end up on a bottom position or something like that. So this one here, we're actually going to, instead of going across the collar, I'm actually going to reach with the far hand through and grab his collar on this side here. You can see my knee is still here, blocking him from being able to come back down and not allowing him to roll away from him. Now, as I start to go forward, you'll see that I'm tracking. So I get to here. Now, once I get to here, I'll just wait for the camera to come around. I've still got my far side grip. If, worst case scenario, I just want to get my pass from here, so everything else starts falling apart from me, all I need to do is drop my elbow into his hip, create some space, and just pull him down. I can go straight into my side control, get my pass. Not a problem. However, I'm trying to set him up for the Ezekiel here. So reach through, grab the collar, start to direct him over. Now, as soon as there's space that's created on this side, I'm going to like seatbelt in. So I come inside here and almost like go for a seatbelt to take the back. I now release the grip that I had on that side, grab inside my gi, and I'm going to create a fist, punch down behind the arm. You'll see the arm is in here, and I'll explain why I like the arm in and not the arm out in the tick. But from here, I don't want to like try to take his back from here. What I'm going to do is I've got my grip, I'm nice and tight, everything's ready and set up. I'm just going to back myself off and pull him down into that space that gets created. Now, to finish the choke, I'm going to motorbike my hand to start to straighten my wrist, and I'm going to punch this hand as hard as I can down to start using my forearm to push his head into my choking arm. All right, let's just have a look at that quickly again. Starting from our entry, he recovers this into a spider guard, pummels his feet inside. My hands get my grips. I start to bring his back off the mat, not all the way, just a little bit, like halfway. Karate chop hands, chop down. Grab the back of his pants, start to walk him forward until I get the stack that I want. drop to my knee, have my guiding knee locked in place. As I start to go around, far side hand grabs the far collar. If, as I said, I just drop him down, I can get the pass. But since I'm setting the choke up, I'll start to walk him until he gets up to almost the turtle position. Hand will come in like a seatbelt. Grab my sleeve. Punch, back of the head. Start to bring myself back and drop him into that space. Straighten my hand and finish the choke. So that's how Ezekiel choke set up from the spider guard escape. It was